we have a guest speaker that is going to lead us through this discussion. She is Dr. Sophia Abiri-Franklin. She is managing partner, Georgetown Solicitors, Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, this person is a distinguished alumna of Babcock University. She completed her PhD in law in Babcock University in 2022, and she is a Queen Elizabeth Scholar, currently visiting scholar with the Institute of African Studies, University, Ottawa, Canada. But before she came to Babcock University, she had obtained her first degree in law with honors from Delta State University, a master's in law from the University of Lagos, and of course, a PhD from Babcock University. Please put your hands together as we welcome on stage our own very wonderful Dr. Sophia Abiri-Franklin. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before I commence, first of all, I want to appreciate the management of the CPGS for inviting me to come and speak to us. It's with great sense of pride I'm standing before you to deliver this presentation today. Thank you very much, sir, for inviting me. And I want to congratulate you also for the theme of this workshop, which is Postgraduate Teaching and Supervision for National Development and Global Relevance. Indeed, that has just been the major crux of everything I've done in the last few months. Well, I will even say 2 years since, or 3 years since I came to Babcock. And before I came for my PhD, I had been thinking of doing something, researching in an area that will be of import, not just to get a PhD, but I should be able to impact my environment. Thank you very much. And so before I commence the very short presentation, I would love this session to be interactive, because when I was invited for this presentation, I had something in mind. And if you are like me, if I'm attending any workshop, I look at the various sub-themes and I'm excited about various subjects. I begin to anticipate. So I would like to, I know you've heard my recitation or you've heard my name, but I don't know you. But I would just like 3 participants today to tell me what is on your mind right now. You have seen the title of my presentation, which is Research, Collaboration, Fellowships, and Related Opportunities. Can you tell me what is agitating your mind now? I understand the conversation that has been going, and I'm enjoying it. Just tell me what you're expecting to get from this presentation. 2 or 3 persons. And the Holy Spirit is here because we don't know the day of the Lord's visitation. So maybe it's what you say, God will answer your prayer today. So I want to see, because I don't want us to just tick the box. This, to me, this is serious business. And as a postgraduate lecturer, this research, collaboration, fellowship, and related opportunities should be a big issue to all of us, because my life has been transformed by just coming to do a PhD. So can someone just tell me, what is your expectation from this presentation? Thank you.
I'm Ayodeji Ajibade from the Department of Accounting, School of Management Sciences. Okay. Looking at the title of your presentation, Research, Collaboration, Fellowship, and Related Opportunities, what came to my mind is someone that is experienced, that I've got some experience in collaborating with regard to research, and is here to share, our own experience on how she was able to get the fellowships and the collaborations she has got in the past, and how we can, leverage and benefit from your experience to help our students and even ourselves to leverage such.
Thank you very much.
When I saw the title, Research, Collaborations, Fellowship, and Related Opportunities, I would like you to be able to balance how I can collaborate, and yet it will be relevant to me for my promotion and also for the world at large as it relates to nursing.
Thank you very much. So I will just go straight into my presentation, hoping that at the end of the day, your desires will be accomplished. By the end of this presentation, it's my desire that all the participants would understand the benefits of these research collaborations, fellowship and related opportunities, develop the skills and knowledge necessary to write a successful application, identify the different types of research collaborations available. Now, I want to share some benefits. So, I'm asking a question. Did you know that research collaborations can boost your productivity by up to 50% when you collaborate with people in your area, multidisciplinary research? Research collaborations can also help you to gain international experience and exposure. For example, you have one standing before you. As at today, to the glory of God, I'm a Queen Elizabeth Scholar alumni. It will help you to build a network of colleagues and collaborators. As at yesterday night, I was just trying to count that from my last trip, I now have about 10 countries that I have strong contacts in for collaboration. 4 in Canada and 6 in West Africa. I mean universities and collaborators. I will share a bit of that briefly. Research collaborations can also make you access new funding resources and partnership. It will increase your chances of success in publishing and grant application. So that's just one of the benefits of research collaborations, because from the conversation ongoing in the room, it may be that if the system, maybe it's not looking like the system, it's really encouraging us as lecturers or postgraduate lecturers who may be a bit laid back to pursue it. So I would take a moment to just say one or two things to inspire you so that we'll take this topic actually serious. It's not just for the university. Yes, if you go out there and you make all the news, the university the name will go high up in ranking and all that. But if you are like me, it's for you personally. What is your own desire? What's giving you fulfillment as a lecturer? And what do you really want for yourself? So for one of the benefits from my recent collaboration or research experience is that as a result of this scholarship, the grant I got, by God's grace, December, we're expecting a visitor from Canada. I mean, from Carleton University, they are going to come to Babcock University to come and visit the school, just because I was able to go there for the program. So that's one of the benefits of the research collaboration. And if you're like me, you can start anticipating what can come up. And then the difference from what we probably have been doing and what I see out there, I mean in the West, abroad, what they are doing, as little as every little thing, they talk about the impact. They talk about what do you want to get from it. You are writing on a particular area. And, you know, to me, it was just a big word of difference, because everything you listen to someone's research focus and immediately you can see what the person is going to get from it. Unlike certain kind of topics I've seen. I mean, not just here, right from my first degree, second degree, and by the time I came here, you see some topics that someone is writing a project on, and you are wondering, what is the impact of this particular topic? So I talked about one of the benefits, which is, I said I've established strong collaboration contacts in universities, among which are Carleton University, University of Ottawa, University of Saskatchewan, amongst others, that we hope that by God's grace from this, other things can bet out of this. And I'm talking about research collaborations, not just abroad. So last year, in the course of the paper, I'm going to talk a bit about networking. So I met some professors and some engineers in Covenant University. I went for I think they call it town and gown presentation. In 2019, I just commenced my PhD, and I was invited to Faculty of Engineering in Covenant University to present a paper. I think I did something on corporate governance and engineering practice or something. So the 300 or 500 level students, I can't remember. And so since then, I kept in contact with the departmental heads and that. So one of the heads there had moved to Abuad, and they contacted me last year that they were starting a research group. It was a multidisciplinary thing in the engineering department. And I was one of the lawyers that was contacted to come and be in the group. So I want to share that collaboration we've done, that is commenced that thing, the hydrogen research group. If you go online, you can check them out. We started meetings in July last year, and we've had over so many meetings every Wednesday since last year, July, until just, I think it was just Christmas period, we did not hold meetings. And as I speak to you, as a result of that, we are currently organizing an international conference that is going to be happening at the end of this month, where we're able to attract guest speakers from University of Manchester and a German research center in university, aside other universities in Nigeria. And that's from just that thing they did. It's not from the school. So I was happy when the RIC director, the representative, was talking about groups, forming research group. And it struck me that that particular exercise was from a particular department. It's an engineering department that formed this thing, and it's really big now. And they are currently a member of an international group as I speak, as that group is applying for certain funds under the international body. So those are the kind of things we can do. It's not just an individual thing per se. As a department, as a faculty, the benefits will really go far. Also, as a result of the contact I've made, I've identified certain programs that I believe that even Babcock University can adapt to this university, and the university will be better off. So what kind of person do we need to be to actually take advantage of research collaboration? What are the soft skills you need to build? How do you prepare yourself? Maybe if you're like me, some of us don't even believe that you can actually get a grant, because if I tell you the truth, when I was afforded that particular opportunity, I did not believe that it was true. Because when I read what they said they would do, all expense paid, they will have to take you to Canada and all that. I said, these people, they have come again. I did not believe. So it took someone from there, a professor over there in Canada, to actually convince me that this is not scam. It's true. So, but that's for someone like me, because, you know, I've not been in academia all that while. I didn't have the exposure to see where these things are flowing. But I'm just coming back from somewhere in Caltech University. I actually met a professor from Nigeria. And I sat in that department, I heard he was on 3 grants. And he was not the only one. They showed me 2 or 3 PhD students. I think one of the guys, Chike, is an Igbo guy, and he was on like 2 or 3 grants, a PhD student. So it's like a culture thing. Everybody's applying for grants you are getting, and it's like nobody was doing anything from their pocket, and they were all sponsored, and they will be reading, and you will be seeing the motivation why they are doing this. Someone is traveling for a conference in Italy, and is sponsored. And so it's like everybody you meet, they have a sense of a focus for what they are doing in the university community. So I've just shared some few things because the time is very short. What I have in my heart to share is really big. But I just put a few things that I said, look, let me take this as an elevator pitch kind of presentation, because the time is really short. But you are looking at what you see in the slide right there. You can see communication, teamwork. You have to be very aware, intercultural. What are the kind of things you need to learn? You need, to me, if I would mention only 3 things here in this line, I'll pick communication, mentorship, and networking. And so I will just run through it. So for communication, for you to get these opportunities, you must be able to clearly explain your research focus, verbally and in writing. The way you speak about it, when they say write, you have to write better than you speak. You must be able to provide constructive feedback. And where you have conflict, you must learn to resolve it. So even me, my experience, I had a bit of conflict. But I mean, in the course of my experience and my application, but that's a story for another day. Then teamwork, ability to work with people. Because like we said, we're talking about research collaboration. It's not just you. You'll be working with other researchers. So you must learn how to be able to work with people, able to compromise, able to support your team members. Also, for culture, you must be respectful of cultural differences, diversity. You must be open to new ideas. And even here now, if, assuming you are older, we'll talk about baby boomers and the different Gen Z and the rest, that might even be a diversity issue in age and all that. So there's a way I probably want to do something, and somebody in the 70s that are not updated in certain areas may not agree with me. You must also be able to adapt your communication style. So maybe okay, so before I traveled for this Canada trip, I like to talk, and I feel everybody should understand what I'm saying. But I found out that I was meeting with a lot of professors, and we're discussing. I would have spoken for like 30 minutes, and then the person would say, and so maybe just their style, it would be nice if you can just put it in a mail. In my mind, I'm like, so everything I've said, they didn't even hear me. So I had to learn something else, that whatever I'm sharing, you have to be able to develop the concept note of it. You must be able to write it and even explain it better than that, your excitement. So that's one big thing I came back with. Communication, you must learn how to write even better than you speak. Also, I want to talk about mentorship relationship. One of the first pictures I would have loved to project for you is a picture of my supervisor while I was here, Professor Olubukola Olugasa. He really mentored me. And so for this international experience, I believe that probably if God had not given me that supervisor, I wouldn't have gone because I did not want to apply. I saw it as a roadblock to my graduating at the due time. And then he kept on pushing me and pushing me on. So I later found out that he had gone for a program at University of Ottawa in Canada that looked like what I was applying for. And he gave me all the supervision, all the mentorship I needed. Even when in the course of applying for that particular opportunity, I had to alter my research focus a bit. And I felt that was a big challenge because, in Babcock, we have time constraints. You have 3 months, you're pre-filled, you had all the deadlines. I was looking at the time. I'm like, look, I don't have this time. And when I would have rehearsed all my excuses overnight, I'll go and tell him in the morning at his office. When I sit down with him and I finish telling him, I'm not doing this thing again, he'll say, you know what, you still do it. We'll do it together. I will support you. And so God actually used him to make me to get that. And so that's one of the things pushing me, because I feel like God has used certain people to inspire me. I owe it as a sense of duty to also be able to inspire others. So one of my deep prayers as I was coming today was, at the end of this presentation, I would have been able to inspire a few persons to actually get on it immediately. That by the next time this workshop is held next year, 1 or 2 persons will be able to come out to say, look, as a result of this inspiration, I actually applied and I've gotten a grant. That's my prayer. If you believe, say amen. So I want to talk about networking. I shared earlier on about the experience I'm currently having with my collaboration with Abuad University, the Hydrogen Research Group. So we talk about research, collaboration, fellowship. Guess what? There are a lot of opportunities out there. But when you don't talk to people, you don't mix up, even within the space, among your peers, how many people do you really know their research area? Do you really know their focus, what they are doing right now? That's one thing I discovered when I traveled. So, I'm a lawyer, and so I got to meet the dean, the head of the law department. I felt that, because she's a lawyer like we do here, I would start telling her everything, and she would jump on it. And then we had meetings, she listened to me, and she said, you know what? And that's not my area. I will look for somebody. I will do. So she directed me to someone else. And one of the things I got from that trip, it heightened my sense of time. You know how we do here, you just bump into someone and you start discussing. When you travel and you see how life is there, you understand that time is very important. Even if you want to talk to your supervisor, you schedule time. You don't just come, you set up appointment, email, even for phone call. You have to book when to call. You have to appointment for everything. I have just 30 minutes for you, 15 minutes, come. And you think because the person is excited with you, the person will stay beyond 15 minutes or 30 minutes, you are a liar. After the conversation is over, if you don't mind, I'm going for lunch right now. I'm like, so to me, it was, I don't know if it's culture shock. I had to try to adapt and understand to a lot of things. So as I came back now, I'm even struggling with fitting in with a lot of things, because things that didn't used to mean anything to me, suddenly I'm irritated. A client comes to me and the person is discussing. I'm like, how many minutes? What time do we have to discuss this? How much are you even paying me? So there's a whole lot. And for me, research collaboration is something that will really bring impact to us. So when I came and I saw postgraduate teaching and supervision for national development and global relevance, I'm like, look, it's like this is the theme of what is really in my heart. Because if every postgraduate lecturer, researcher, we carry this kind of feeling to say, you know what, I want to impact the world. Your university is out there. I want to achieve global relevance. You will begin to do things differently. Now, something happened yesterday. As I was preparing for this presentation, we're thinking of reference. I was working with my media people in the office, and one of our colleagues forwarded me something, and it was my profile from AI, artificial intelligence. I was surprised. And so they sent me to versions. And one of the versions, I saw that what the AI was saying about me and the words the machine used to describe me were some of the things I'd uploaded in Caltech University website, because they actually mandated us in the course of the program, you must share, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, go and share pictures, say something. So I'd even shared my impacts of this experience in a blog. And so I'm like, oh, we're talking about global relevance and national development. We actually have to be very intentional. You need to set the agenda and write what you want people to know about you. It's not that you go and write a lie. But if you know that you want to be great, you want to be a professor, then you have to ask yourself, what do I need to do to get there? And you start working towards it. So I was talking about networking. Ability for you to build relationship. I mean, nurture it long term. Not for today, because I want to get something, get promotion. No. Because most of the things, the relationships that helped me arrive where I am today, they are relationships I've nurtured over the years. And for instance, the contact that forwarded me the application from Canada, you know, in retrospect, I was just remembering that I had made this contact like 2009. I think by then I had not commenced my master's. I started my master's in Unilag in 2010. But I kept on, because then he was in his PhD, I kept on sending him emails. Oh, I just commenced my master's. Oh, this is my topic. Over the years, we're keeping in touch. And when I was doing my PhD, of course he was aware. And when this opportunity came, I was one of the first persons he shared it with. Even when I was not going to apply, he said, oh, I know you're a very serious person, so I must try my best to encourage you. So I would have loved to dwell a bit about that ability for you to know what each other are doing. Now, why I want to dwell on that issue of networking, as at yesterday, I have a colleague now in Cameroon that is still sending me research opportunities, because the person knows I'm a lawyer, he knows I'm a people person, and then she will send me some. She will say, this is not for you, they are for your junior sisters. Oh, send to this discipline. So when you make relationship with even your fellow lecturers, make intentional relationship, let them know the area of your research. And so, because as I'm searching for my own opportunity, I'm a lawyer now, I may see something that is IT related and remember Dr. Maintomi and say, oh, or Dr. Ajike, because he's IT. But if I don't know what he's doing, but if there's a particular interest he focus is working on, I could, because you know at times when you are doing your research, you stumble on different things. So it's important, and you know we are talking about collaboration. You can't do it on your own. So from time to time, we should have workshops where we talk about what we want to do, because you can have people that can actually push you forward. And one of the things along the line you learn how to build is to learn how to write your CV and resume. Also a statement of purpose. Present that issue of presenting your leadership experience is another big one. So because I understood what the last speaker said when he said about sketch the last time he tried to do something, he gave him headache and all that. I was in that space too, I understand. You know, when someone says, talk about yourself, what have you done, 20 years experience, you think it's easy. But when you want to, you know that you want to create a certain picture of yourself and you want to write it in a certain way. So it actually takes time, and you will need mentoring for that, because if you've not done it before and then you have someone in that field that is able to guide you, then you are a blessing. And I think that's what God gave to me in Professor Olugasa, and then one or two other persons you do not know from here, that God used them to be able to direct me, show me how to do this. And when I was doing writing that application, I didn't do it myself. I think Professor Dr. Maintomi is here. I disturbed him, especially when we're writing the budget. I was confused. They had taught us research proposal. I thought it was academic thing. I'm like, this academic thing, I know how to do it. But it was not adding up. So I had to go and disturb him in his office. And one of the first places I went, actually, when I saw the application, I went to Rick's office. And I must thank Professor Grace Tayo. She actually opened that door immediately. They downloaded the thing. They said, do this, do that. And by the time they just showed me what to do, I went back to my office. And then from there, I started visiting the lecturers I felt could assist. And I took it up from there. So what am I trying to say? Most of us were trying to do things. We're hiding it. there's a particular opportunity, you are hiding it. I'm sure that person is not here, but I've had experiences of universities, some of my colleagues from other places in West Africa shared stories with me where lecturers and HODs saw opportunities and they hid it from the faculty. They hid it from their department. I know that kind of lecturer is not here. And so you will not be that kind of person. So if you are working on something, I saw certain opportunities that I shared with people. Even this one I'm talking to you, some of our colleagues can testify. When I was applying for the opportunity, I shared it with them. So it was not as if I was hiding it. I have some few resources available that you can take your time to look at. You have online database and some. I set out some funding agencies for you to look at. And I think one of the interns in my office, a first-class graduate for Babcock, just told me, madam, we're using Google Alert now. My mates, we have this thing, we do Google Alert. It tells us when there is a grant application. So I added it for us to look at it. And so you have existing research collaborations, fellowship, and related opportunities. You have research collaborations from different institutes and then fellowship. I believe the slide will be circulated so you will have it. And I attach for you links to relevant organizations and websites. These things work, so don't think it's scam. I saw a lot of people on these grants. I saw my flatmate in Canada had traveled around the world on grants. And I was looking at her passport, and she said, look, Sophia, all these things, I've never paid for any ticket. So I'm like, so how come I've not been hearing of this kind of thing in Nigeria? I've been budgeting, struggling to go to US. Right now, my plan is grants. That's how I want to, is to travel the world. I don't know about your agenda. So I have action plan for you. What I think, if you want to take advantage of this presentation, one of the first things you need to do is to develop a research agenda. You need to know your plan, your focus, what you want to do. And if you do not have one right now, I will just go to the theme and talk about national development and global relevance. You can even go to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, because most of the international opportunities I saw that some of the issues they were willing to put their money on were related to the UN SDG. So if you, assuming you did not know what to do, you can even look for something there and develop something around your discipline and come up with an agenda that you want to pursue. And then you can schedule a minimum of 1 hour a week for finding opportunities. So I have this friend from this experience, and she has gone around the world, so many opportunities. And I asked her, she's even a magistrate, but she's currently doing a PhD, and we're together. She's a key scholar. I said, how are you able to do this thing? She said, oh, look, whenever you people are here and you're playing, I'm on my Facebook. It's all these grants I'm looking for. There's a way I've arranged it. So, most of us who are IT savvy, we can schedule time in our phones to tell us, oh, take this 30 minutes, 1 hour while you're in traffic. Quickly do this. You can prepare to submit at least one application a month. It takes time. Especially if you are a first starter like me, maybe you've just tried to apply for LinkedIn grants and you would have suffered. Some of my colleague would tell me, my friend would tell me, oh, apply for this position. It takes 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and you are done. That same application, she said, took her 30 minutes. I will apply for it. It will take me 24 or 48 hours. Because I'm struggling. It's my first time. She already has her profile and all those things saved and all that. Subscribe to newsletters related to your research focus. And so from the links, you will see a lot of newsletters. One of the newsletters you must not forget to subscribe to is Opportunities for Africa. I hear United States Embassy is also very good. They have a lot of information from time to time on their Facebook wall. And then research collaborations, fellowships, and related opportunities can be a great way to advance your research career, gain international experience, and build a network of colleagues around the world by developing the necessary soft skills. Using and taking the action to apply for opportunities, you can increase your chances of success. We're talking about international relevance and global relevance. One of the things that gave me much excited when I traveled was when I went to visit the High Commissioner in Canada. And that meeting, I met with diplomats, all the Nigerians and the director, we went. And he gave me the opportunity to share. And I was like, we're just small in the room, but I felt like I was on top of the world. Actually saying from my heart what my research was about, the academic angle, the research, and then the business, practical angle of my research. What I would love Nigeria to be. You've traveled and you've seen how things are working. And my heart is crying. One of the things beating in my heart is, why is it that we in Nigeria, around the world, I remember in 2017 when I attended a conference in America, 3 ladies, I think they were from Shell, it was an energy arbitration conference. They looked at my card and they saw all those professional qualifications and they asked me, were you the one that paid for this thing? Because over there, education is expensive. And in Nigeria, we have so many people that are educated, but look at the country, the impact is not there. That is why everything I've listened to today, the ongoing conversation before my presentation was really making my heart to beat, that even if the lecturers and the students, we come up with a desire to say we want to impact the nation, we want to change something, I believe things will be different. Then I have a few recommendations for the CPGS, or rather the university. I listened to the conversation and I said I agree with the issue of visibility, the policy of the university, the online presence of the school. And one of the things I noticed in Carleton, their online presence is too much. So we have this email every day. I'm getting emails. And then, of course, they make you to subscribe to the LinkedIn and Twitter. And guess what? Not just the university, not just the PRO. So you have different departments. So you are seeing departments of social sciences. They are sending their newsletter. They are publishing something on Twitter. They are doing something. The School of Law is doing something. Engineering is doing something. Almost every day, I must receive an alert, an email, a newsletter, an event. Something is happening, you will hear. They are planting tree, you will hear. They are eating suya, you will hear. The thing is just out there, and it's all over the world. And then one of the things I also saw, I went to take my time to check some of the professors' LinkedIn, and I saw that they were sharing opportunities. And so part of the things I would say for someone trying to get a research agenda and opportunities, you can identify professors, distinguished professors in your area, follow them on LinkedIn. I see most of them advertise these research opportunities, and some of them would say, oh, they need 3 or 4 research assistants, and they will put the fee and say, you do not have to be here, it's remote and all that. I would love to see that kind of thing happen in Babcock University. Also, the impact of publishing our impact cannot be overemphasized. With this short program, all the things I've done online, I can't even quantify it, because you are kind of mandated and you are very intentional about what you do when you write out there and you imagine that the whole world actually knows you and they are following you. I also said university, one of my suggestions is that universities and the faculty department could assist researchers by publishing or identifying a list of Scopus journals that they can collaborate, and also collaborate with journals for the payment of fees. I was with a senior colleague yesterday. He's currently rounding up his PhD at, I think, Pan Atlantic University. And he was telling me that they kind of mandate them, you also have to have Scopus. But he said, oh, my supervisor have identified 2 journals. This is what I'm working towards. I think it would be better if the postgraduate lecturers can take the time to identify early. For a 3-year program, we don't wait until it's 1 year or 6 months to go before we start putting pressure. From the first day they come, after 6 months orientation, it's okay, what are you starting? And so when we have that conversation of what do you want to do with this, your program, very early, the candidates would have to rethink why. And if it's the type that is copy and paste, we probably go and rethink why you want to do that program, master's or PhD. Because even if you copy my topic today, you cannot share my vision with the passion the way I share it. So the encouragement should be that everybody should look for genuine research area, your own thing, because you will stand to defend it. When I traveled, one of the things I wrote in the blog, I said that my skills were really heightened was the issue of communication and networking. So you are meeting over like 50 meetings, and everywhere you go, they will require you to introduce yourself, and you're going to talk about your research focus. So if you don't know how to communicate it, and guess what, they are not joking, because as you are communicating your research focus and your desire, somebody is identifying you. So you can see that lady there on black. She's Professor Nana. She's a Canadian, but she's Black Canadian. And so this was the last event I attended at Carleton. It was a management retreat. It was hybrid. So you see the people are small there. There were not many, but the people that attended the meeting, they were more than this. So it was after the meeting, we just say, oh, let's take a group picture. Some people have gone. And I don't know what I was saying. And she was drawn to me. And she said, oh, what is it? I said, oh, I'm interested in this, that. And from our little conversation, I found that She was a chair of a particular grant. She had attracted a particular grant of millions of dollars. And she had research assistant. And then we talked. She said, these people are very open. And she said, oh, don't worry. I will help you. I will send you my template. You will do it. And she actually sent it to me. I sent her an email and she forwarded me. When I saw what she did, I mean the detailed application that she used to get that grant, I said, oh, no wonder they gave the grant. And so when the director was speaking and he talked about the bio-sketch and the template that will come for you to apply, I understood, because every penny you have to justify it. If you are going for grant opportunities, it's not opportunity that you want to go and see the world and shopping spree. They don't have that kind of money for you. You have to say everything you will do. You are taking a research assistant for 4 hours a week. This is what you are going to pay. You will justify it with receipt. I will end there and I will be happy to respond to your questions. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's give it up for Sophia again. I figured that if I sat there, she would we would spend the entire day, because she's actually a listener's delight, and I am quite thrilled by the passion with which she made her delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been research collaboration, fellowships, and related opportunities. And she's willing to take our responses and feedbacks now. Questions, please. Or contributions or feedback. Okay, Professor Unebo, his hand is up. So let's begin with Dr. Adeboa.
Thank you very much. Just like you said, Sophia is really a listener's delight. But apart from the issue of grant winning and stuff like that, for me, as somebody that works here, one major takeaway is the issue of collaboration. It's a big problem here. The issue of collaboration. You know, you said somebody at Abuad called you a lawyer to be part of a research in something in engineering. And that's the way it should be, either interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. But I'm asking the deputy provost, the acting provost, that this communication should reach authorities. They should realize that they are killing interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research with our current policies. It's very critical for us to look at that, because once you go that route, you are going to get more visibility. You're going to get more invitations because people want to collaborate with you. There's an example I gave at a meeting. Somebody in music was invited by somebody in medicine because of some problem with the throat. And it has to do with people that play wind instruments. And it ended up in a solid paper published in a medical journal. And for our policy, the music professor is disadvantaged. That shouldn't be. So collaboration is critical and we must talk to it. We spoke to it sometime and they said they're going to review, because a document is a document. Once the policy is still subsisting, unless it is reviewed. But it should be done so that people can really explore. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my sister, for your presentation. I was really wrapped in what you're saying. But the problem I have is that we are doing our research to benefit people from overseas. Nothing is benefiting us here in Nigeria or in Africa. From what you have done, looking at it politically, it looks like it is you that is benefiting, not Nigeria or Africa. How are we going to do our research to benefit us, looking at our country politically? Because almost all of us, or all the politicians, are corrupt. How do we bring what we have done to our situation?
Thank you very much. Well, fortunately for me, my research area, my focus is not just to benefit abroad, like you said. I have a lot of things I'm doing because of my research that is of great impact to Nigeria. But I took the point away from what you said, which is one of the passions I have that I'm running with now. I found out that most of the grant opportunities there were founded by individuals, like charitable organizations, people that set out funds. And so part of the area of my research is individual sustainability, where I'm advocating for individuals creating a legacy. And part of what I want to get from that angle is advocating to clients, the business sectors, companies, to actually set out these funds and grants. Because in Caltech University, I think I saw in their School of Business, there are 2 buildings where I think there are 2 billionaires or so from the estate planning department or so that actually instituted a fund for research. So those are the kind of things we can start doing now. Aside Mr. Tony Lumelu, AIG Mokwede, there are few persons actually doing a lot of things in the area of grants, research, trainings. So, of course, if you are looking for a grant right now, and you go out there online, and you are not seeing anything that will be of immediate benefit, you might want to tilt towards their research area. But people, individuals can come out. By the time we set an agenda and, start a campaign that I intend to start immediately, that we should set up fund, assuming Babcock University or a particular department comes up with a particular agenda that they want to research on, for instance, cultism in Nigeria, or they want to stop this menace of Agbero, or whatever. It could be anything. And then approach some of these billionaires to say, look, set up, you can bring this money, because the money that everybody's keeping to buy private jets all the world, by the time this country is hot, we can't stay here. And if we think, like I traveled, it broke my heart to see people that I felt were distinguished struggling to run away to go and settle abroad. In fact, some people felt I was crazy for thinking of coming back, because they did not imagine why the insecurity, as they said it, that with everything in Nigeria, you mean you want to go back? And I heard about professors, distinguished people in different departments, that's in different disciplines, that are trying to come back. I saw things that broke my heart. I mean, not just from Nigeria, but from West Africa. I mean, distinguished professors that we go back there and probably take up jobs as low as cleaner or whatever, just because they want to make a life. All the passion we have, if we sit down and talk to our people. This is a faith-based institution. Apart from the university, we have church members that from their tithes, if they are really sincere, their net worth. And then you can target them and let them bring out this money. And if you want to research, for instance, on, let's say, fowl, poultry, we had one of our scholars for researching on agriculture or something like that. You could bring out people that will bring out this money. So I think maybe we are lazy a bit, or we're not doing enough as an institution, because over there you see most of the things the institutions are doing it, even the government. So we can't be crying about government Nigeria. No, this is our own government. I feel Nigeria starts from us. We should now start thinking about what we'll give back to the institution, to the country, because once you start thinking that way, I think that's one of the things I took away from this opportunity, because it made me sit down. I didn't have enough time. If I would do another talk, I was going to talk about how you will communicate your impact. Because if somebody says, I'm ready to give you 5 million naira or $10,000, what will you give back? You must be forced to think. So you can't be thinking of doing what we favor them only. I think that's not what my opportunity, the grant opportunity, was about. This is a very good one, because most of the things we took, but that's why I'm here. I'm currently in Nigeria carrying out, they call it knowledge sharing community experience, that we have to give back. So I'm going to be running certain programs that I hope at the end of the programs, it would have impacted globally, I mean, international relevance. It should have impacted Nigeria, it should have impacted Babcock University, it should have impacted all of us, because a lot of people now know where Babcock University is because of this opportunity. So I think it's something we need to desire and actually work towards. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from all of us to Dr. Sophia Abiri-Franklin, let us say thank you. Let's put our hands together for her. Thank you. Thank you very much.